Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Today is Friday, and we will be discussing everything in the markets. Great. I was actually looking back at my older videos and realized just how dumb I was. It's fine, though. So what I'm planning to do is actually start numbering all these shows into episode numbers, and I don't even know what format I'm going to use, but I've already kind of started with ideas. Don't even look at the older videos, please. It's embarrassing. But no worries. The content will continue to improve and, just be better overall, of course. So, we will be talking today about the cryptos, the good old cryptos that they don't go up, they don't go down. Wonderful. It's Friday. What do we expect? We're going into a weekend. Saturday, don't even expect anything to happen on Saturday. And then Sunday will be a bit more exciting. We'll have new pivot levels. We'll prepare for the next week with PCE data and whatnot. So that should be good. We will also be talking today about what we have in the news, which is a lot of Canada news. So we're going to focus extensively on Canada for once. I know we always talk about the Americans, the United States, and I mean, honestly, it's just more entertaining. Canadian politics is so boring, except for today's politics we will be discussing. So yeah, a lot of partnerships with China. I don't know why we're picking China. Seems that we're abandoning the US for the next best thing, which happens to be China. Sure. Weird, but okay. Weird flex. We will also be talking about AI, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, etc. And also little updates on Iran, little updates on Greenland. That kind of stuff is still going on. So we'll be talking about all of that in tonight's show. Get ready. Prepare yourself. What do we have with Bitcoin? Super trend on the rise currently. In recent hours, current price is 95,251. It hasn't really moved since yesterday. The lowest point we hit today was 94,253, highest of 95,808. No big real changes. Literally only a $1,000 difference between those two numbers. What can you really expect? So what, in summary, did we see is a good rise to 98,000 on Bitcoin, approximately. We hit our highest at 97,900, meaning that the Fibonacci resistance levels that we have drawn at 98,000 is indeed the most important level here before we can test the 100,000. I was hoping we would correct a little bit harder than this. Maybe we just continue to decay over the weekend. Anything can happen at this point. So I'm not going to rush to get into positions either, because after all, we are in a bear market. So I'm going to take it slow still. I know price is 95,000. We hit 98,000 almost, and I could have made so much profits if I just held my $93,000 position, but who cares about that? And also this, by the way, I got stop hunted. I've got stop hunted on every one of my positions. They had to nerf me. They realized I was on the right path. I was on the right track. I predicted every movement correctly. It's just that I got stopped out and then the move happened. Barely stopped out, if at that most. You know what I'm saying? So that was annoying, but whatever. It's all part of the game. It's either I get stopped out and, miss out on profits, or I get Omega liquidated and I'm stuck with positions for how many months has this been open for? I don't even get to see that, I guess. Just know that these were open since like October, November, okay? We're in December, January. We're halfway through January. Tomorrow will be February before we know it. So it's going to be rough holding on to those positions, but still hopeful that this year will bring great stuff overall. We were expecting this week to be super volatile, which it was went in our favor, pretty much. We didn't get any war with Iran. That got delayed. We didn't get the crypto market structure bill. That got delayed. We didn't get the Supreme Court tariff ruling. That also got delayed. So I guess that kind of stuff is still in the background, waiting to be dealt with. In the meantime, we must suffer through volatility, which is awesome. That's what we need. So, what do I expect on Bitcoin? Still, same deal. Drop to 91,000. Supertrend hasn't really changed too much for me to change my whole opinion on it. So, I'm still aiming at anything 91,000. Yeah, 91,000 approximately. No more 90,000. If we do start seeing 90,000 numbers, we are no longer in an uptrend. So, you must be careful with that. Will this happen by the end of this week? Probably not. Maybe it would have to be by next week. And I'm hopeful for, I was getting to this point before I completely got sidetracked. I'm hopeful for a retracement to this area because due to the sharp rise that we have and we stopped at 98,000, I would be more concerned if we continued rising to hit 100,000 because that would obviously overextend the movement upward, correct a lot sooner and a lot harder, which would demoralize a lot of people. We don't want that to happen. We want people to stay motivated, optimistic, and ready, of course, for potential great movements. So far, this uptrend has been great. You can't deny that. But in order for it to maintain itself healthy, I do expect a retracement to about 91,000. So that's what I would pay attention to. I would go max long over here, not financial advice, and then we'd be aiming for 100,000 by then, and we would have a fair shot at getting there. So that's what I like to see. We shall see how it behaves when it approaches this level. So that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. Ethereum, negative funding rate. People are not allowing this thing to continue rising. 3,400 is your clearest resistance on it. Current price is 3,285. Supertrend is sharply on the rise currently. We might see a bit of a correction on some of these actually before we approach whatever uptrend line we have drawn to reaccumulate enough strength to continue higher, right? Potentially something like this, flipping the trend over until eventually, you know, we break the trend and then we follow this uptrend, whatever it is. Something like that may happen in terms of super trend and price, if you understand what I'm drawing there. Support as of right now, I don't know, it's looking like 3,100 might be that support level. Super trend has not really closed yet. Or flatlined, rather, which we might see it flatline obviously by Saturday. We're not expecting a lot of volatility, so things should level out a little bit. And in preparation, of course, for Sunday new pivot levels, we would be able to determine what our next areas of support or resistance would be. So that's great. Let's move on to Solana, $144.25. Highest we hit was $148.74 during this week. I was hoping for 150. I think that's close enough to 150. Can we agree on that? Anything a little too high above it, in my opinion, seemed a little bit unrealistic. More realistic would be a resistance at around 150 because of this downtrend line that we must deal with. And it's going to be a difficult one to deal with. So honestly, I feel like we might change the trend a little bit on Solana as well. Unless we actually manage to break out of this naturally, which, hey, we could. We could as well. Might happen. We'll wait and see. For now, 133 is your resistance on Solana. That's about it. $144.28 the current price. Moving on to Monero. Sharp drop today, but I mean, oh yeah, such a sharp drop, right? Look at this zoomed out. So we're perfectly fine. Don't worry about this drop. Matter of fact, I want it to drop even harder. Another 12% to about 550. If you do want to consider any long entries. Shorting this right now is, in my opinion, not a great idea. Too risky. Uptrend is still, you know, against you if you're shorting. So you must follow the trend. Best potential entry would be around 550, 560. That's what I would determine from this. Current price is $626.36, and we were down 9% after hitting a high of 800 is our new all-time high. So I will also draw that very obvious resistance. Psychologically, 800, it just makes sense. New all-time high, enjoy it. Okay, what else do we got? SUI, $1.78. Support predicted properly. I think I might have mentioned I wanted to enter around 167 to 172, which, I don't know. We kind of been flatlining. Look at this RSI. What do you call this? So really, it's anybody's game here, whether this rises or drops. I'm going to also kind of predict a drop on SUI, and it might be a bit harder than the other ones. A drop on SUI, a drop on the other ones. I know we're in an uptrend, and I'm kind of predicting the move a bit early, but I'm still going to risk entries, don't get me wrong. If we approach the appropriate levels, and we're close enough, everything looks like it's lining up pretty well, especially in like the 15-minute chart coming out of an oversold area in short term, then I would obviously be entering a long position on some of these stop losses below where super trend line invalidates, and of course wish me luck with those if that is to happen. But what I am seeing as well with SUI, what I drew with what was it, with Ethereum or with Solana? Would have been with Solana. Same deal, right? Price could drop toward this support level at around 145, 150, I don't know. Which would flip, of course, the trend over until we're eventually able to rise back up. And then the trend would eventually start following this uptrend line once again. So we'll see how that goes. Once again, I'll be monitoring that, so great. Move out of the way. Hyperliquid is up 1.12%. Still maintaining its uptrend. We had a bit of a fake out here, which was annoying. This is one of the fake outs that I was talking about. I had the right play, but I got stop hunted. And then eventually the movement upward was correct. It was something like this. It wasn't like this one-to-one, but that was my kind of trajectory. Hyperliquid, I still feel like we have more room to stay in an uptrend because of that fake out and because we have such a big distance between the uptrend and validation at $23 versus the current price where it's at $24.90, almost 25. So it's looking a little better in Hyperliquid's case. Would I go enter here? Probably not. I'd wait for a bit of a retracement below 24. I think I might have said that in the last stream. I don't remember where I mentioned a good entry. I'd look for 24. If the super trend is meant to rise, I'd look for 24 or below. As long as, of course, the uptrend is still not invalidated, right? BitTensor is starting to do what I want it to do. What are we thinking? I think I'm still going to wait, because we're not obviously going to break 300 over the weekend. We might even just decay during that time, and if we do, we approach, 265 to 260, that kind of area. I will be entering long on there, as drawn over here. I could have probably just gone ahead and entered here, if only I was awake at 7 a.m. I was awake. I was working, though, so that's not fair. And this time I'm actually working for real. It's difficult to, distract yourself with anything else. You got to be focused. So it's going to be tough to do, any other stuff. Not that I do that anyway. I obviously do my work as I'm supposed to. Especially now that I'm starting out, so I've got to take it really seriously. Okay. That's for BitTensor. 276 was the price, by the way. Okay, this is Chainlink now. Uptrend is clear as I've drawn and shown over here. I'm still expecting this thing to drop to maybe... What did I draw here? Anything close to $13? Below $13.20, I don't know. Below 13, really. If that is to happen. I wasn't sure if the super trend was to start rising. I'm assuming it will starting tomorrow if we just, flatline over here for a while. No volatility would cause super trend to tighten a little bit toward where the price is. So either way, I'm still going to wait and see if I can find a good entry on it over the weekend. And I do expect this thing to continue rising because we behaved as expected, right? Chainlink had its good rise, approached this downtrend line, which we have an uptrend in our favor, though. And I do feel like this would have enough strength to continue moving higher, especially if I expect things to continue rising in the upcoming weeks. I'm expecting, Bitcoin to be 100,000 plus by the end of this month. Wild guess, but hey, at least I'm not Young-Kung Kim, who believes that with his 276 IQ, he doesn't have that IQ when it comes to crypto. You can have it in math, but okay, not in crypto, buddy. I have a higher IQ than you in crypto, and I'm ready to challenge you on that, face to face. Straight up, I'm calling you out. He called for 100,000 Bitcoin. I said no, and I was right. Okay, that's all. That's all I wanted to flex. He's also starting, he's bull posting on XRP now. I'm like, dude, he just read what it was about yesterday or something. But hey, who am I to judge the poor fella? He does have 276 IQ after all, so highest IQ man in the world, by the way. I'm not going to test him. But sure. Anyways, this is my prediction on Chainlink. To have a drop around this area, accumulate, we'll have enough strength to break this downtrend, approach our next resistance before... What I would expect is, to kind of take support once again from the downtrend line before we bounce higher and break that resistance into a new high. And this is uncharted territory from here on forward, so I wouldn't be able to give you an exact amount of target from there. But for now, after I enter, my target would be anything below 15. That's what I'd look for on Chainlink. It's setting up for something good. Aptos also kind of setting up for something good, potentially. I don't know. Uptrend lines are strange at this time, but I was kind of expecting it to be around 167. That way I could go max long and be supported with an uptrend that would be formed if price drops to anything below 170, right? Which absolutely can happen over the weekend, so Aptos might give us another entry if this does play out. And where would I target myself? Are we using resistance? I might have to, honestly. I don't know. We'll see. That's kind of my little predictive movement for Aptos. Wonderful. Let's see what other coins are doing big moves today. I doubt any. Where is RSI heat map? I reorganized that speed dial like a while back and now I'm just completely lost. Do not ask me to log in ever again. I will never create an account with you. Everything is normal. Rest of these coins don't exist. Don't even look at them. AXS. Is that Axie Infinity? I've not heard of that thing in a million years. I just remember some old guy playing it on Twitter and that's it. It is Axie Infinity. It's up 25%. Why? This is 25% up, by the way. This little blip of movement. Tokenomics shift reduces inflation. That's good. I should let my cousin know. Dude, my cousin bought like a round over here in 2021. No one cares. They disabled Smooth Love Potion. Oh man, remember this? The rewards and its origins game mode. This is a gaming token, by the way. To combat bot farming. That's crazy. You have bot farming in a crypto game. This reduced daily, and it's causing inflation, which is even worse. That's crazy. This reduced daily tokens emissions by roughly 30%, which now tightens supply dynamics. What this means, lower inflation alleviates sell pressure from automated farming, a persistent drag on Axie since 2022. With fewer tokens entering circulation, holders face less dilution, creating a favorable supply-demand balance. What to watch? Sustained reduction in Axie's Infinity exchange reserves, currently 168 million. What is 30% of Infinity? That's all I'm going to say about this. Yeah. This will never be at a 9 billion market cap ever, by the way. For that, you're expecting Axie Infinity to be worth what Chainlink is currently worth, and that's just not going to happen. But at least they're doing something to kind of improve their tokenomics a little, so that's good for them. What else is on the rise? None of these are important. What are these dropping? I cannot read this. What does it say? Frax? I have no idea what that is. And this is just an A. People are getting less creative with their ticker names now. Alright, pal. There's that. I could just check CoinMarketCap itself to see what else is on the big moves today. Axie Infinity is not even on this list. That's just laughable. Pump Fund is up a little, 5%. That's nice. Anything that I care about. Litecoin as well, up 3%. And then some meme coins. 1% movement is not that important. I'll have a look at Litecoin and Pump Fund. I haven't looked at those in a minute. But I did try entering a position on Litecoin, which I got immediately stopped out of, which I talked to you guys about, right? I entered right over here, immediately got stopped out, which, fair enough, this thing is headed in a downtrend. This actually looks so shortable right now. I did hear that Litecoin was going to... There was going to be a new project coming out that is a layer 2 on Litecoin. I don't know how good it will be or if we need another layer 2. I mean, for Litecoin, sure, but come on. The digital silver, we're using a layer 2 on it. I still like Litecoin, but come on now. Wait, I want to see if I could find the news on it. It might be here. Here it is. Litecoin's first EVM compatible layer 2 solution called LitVM Lit VM. It enters the testnet in the first quarter of this year. Oh, it's just testnet, not even mainnet launch. That's cringe. It enables smart contracts, DeFi, and tokenization while preserving Litecoin's proof of work security. The structural shift aims to transform Litecoin from a payment coin to a programmable settlement layer aligning with Web3 trends. Hey, good for you. Litecoin spot ETF when? October 2nd, let's go, of 2025. Oh my gosh. How outdated is that? 90% approval odds? Do we even have LTC ETF? I think we might have. Oh, we do. Oh yeah, Canary. I forgot about Canary. LTCC. Yeah, I remember this. It's just been a while, so I've like forgotten. The whole ETFs getting mass approved. It all died because of the government shutdown, so that was annoying. But anyway. This looks so shortable right now. Or maybe the start of a new uptrend, I don't know. Because this support at 70 was really important. I don't think we're going to crash below 70 here. We didn't, this is like new lows, ignoring October 10. We did not even fill our October 10 wick, right? I mean, it's different on every exchange, but at least on this chart, on this exchange, like a lot of these other altcoins have already filled their October 10 wick, except for Sui. That was a terrible example. I don't know. Go to Hyperliquid, for example. Well, proving myself wrong on stream. There you go. Never mind. Okay, whatever, though. Litecoin still seems... it's a coin that's guaranteed to rise, right? You can't go wrong with Litecoin, but it's just so slow is what I don't like about it. And it's only like sometimes it'll make its big moves. And when it does, man, and it's good. And you can count on it with like similar Bitcoin tokenomics. Similar, because it's got a different max supply, right? But the whole proof of work mechanism, that's still the same. In circulation, we have 76 million Litecoins with a max supply of 84 million. Not inflationary. Right? That's good. That's the good stuff about Litecoin. Is that it's not inflationary. But then people are like, why buy Litecoin? Just buy Bitcoin. Which you're, sure, fine. I guess that makes sense. Zcash has not changed in market cap. It seems like we did find a footing over here. We're down 20% though. What the heck? Okay, hold on. Let me look at Zcash here. Was I also correct in my move? No, it says it's up 0.45%. What do you mean we're down 20%? What was that about? Is that year to date probably? I might be looking at year to date. Where did it go? Here. Yeah, I was looking at year to date. Okay, never mind. I thought we were down 20% today. I'm like, why didn't I see that in the RSI heat map? Okay, fair enough. Hey, well, Zcash is starting a new uptrend if you care. 400 being a good entry. Anything below that? I wouldn't count on it for too long, though. It seems like we might encounter some resistance at around 470. So watch out for that if you care about Zcash. I no longer care. I'm a Monero guy because Monero is at all-time highs. And I want to buy a coin that is at all-time highs because I want to lose money. Perfect. Let's move on to the news. So biggest thing is... at least from my end, is Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, going to do a lot of stuff in China. We do not like the US, so we will now pick China as our biggest trading partner, the biggest adversary to the United States, which is just excellent. So we posted this on, I was about to say on Truth Social on Twitter, saying we came to Beijing for Canada to forge a new strategic partnership with China. We will be returning with a new trade agreement and billions of dollars in export markets unlocked for Canadian workers. Now that we lost the biggest trading partner, the United States. Okay, what is this? Just so you know, the Prime Minister of Canada is in China right now, declaring support for Communist China and the New World Order. You guys see the New World Order clip? It's so funny. There's this right here of Mark Carney talking. I'll play the full clip here in a sec. Just give me 1 year to set up the audio. Here we go. Get ready. Play.
Mine is the first visit of a Canadian Prime Minister to China in nearly a decade. The world has changed much since that last visit. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order. Mine is the first.
So there you go, the New World Order. Did you see his reaction? That's so funny. This is the, what's his name? I think he's from Saskatchewan, Premier of Saskatchewan, I think. This is Melanie Joly. This is, I don't know who this is. But as soon as he says New World Order, this guy just like, it's like the fine boom sound effect, like, you know? He just notices that and gets scared. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, his face. Scott Moe. Who is this guy? Yeah, Premier of Saskatchewan. I was right. Dude, I know my Canadian politics. Give me Prime Minister role right now. If you don't see it anything on CBC, CTV, Global News, Toronto Star, these are Canadian news outlets. They're not talking about the Prime Minister talking about a new world order. I think he was asked about it. A reporter asked him as soon as he came back, like, what did you mean by the new world order? Here it is. And Carney said, as in architecture, the multilateral system is being eroded, undercut. The question is what gets built in its place. But literally a word salad. Word salad. Lovely. Okay, great. So there you go. This is our Prime Minister, by the way, not my Prime Minister. So what do we get from this whole meeting? Couple of stuff. And maybe some of it is good. I don't know. We'll see. China will allow visa-free access for Canadian visitors. So I can go visit China for free. Not for free, but like... how do I explain it? No visa, right? Just, you're allowed to visit it, like any other good old country. Okay. You can visit a communist country. We also got that Canada will agree to cut their 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles in exchange for lower tariffs on Canadian farm products. Apparently, we had a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs, but that is because they also tariffed us on our canola oil. Remember that? Remember when Donald was giving Canada and Mexico their tariffs and China, the first set of tariffs that were announced last year after his inauguration. And then on top of that, China was like, well, instead of like just counter tariffing the United States, they just tariffed Canada as well, which was pretty funny. And we were like, dude, what is Mark Carney doing? He was supposed to stand up against Trump and against all these tariffs and all that, and he's just doing absolutely nothing. So what is going on? Also, by the way, I didn't even realize Trump is giving us the middle finger. Anyway, I just realized that now. Lovely. That's just permanently on the stream now. So there's that. Mark Carney slashes Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles and announces that up to 49,000 Chinese electric cars will be imported into Canada with only a 6.1% tariff. I'm sure Bradley would be very upset with this news. I don't know. I'll DM him later. Okay, but we're still going to charge them a 6.1% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. It's not 100% anymore, so we're still making some money off of that. And 49,000 cars, electric cars. Do people even like electric cars? And Chinese, I don't know. We had this issue in Ecuador where one of our neighbors at one of our properties there, we looked at like one of their cars and like, oh, this is a nice pickup truck. He's like, dude, it's so garbage. I hate it. I'm like, why? It's like a Chinese pickup truck. It's so garbage, right? Because in Ecuador also we're doing a lot of deals with China. I don't know, from previous governments. I don't know what's going on down there, but I don't know. People do not like electric vehicles or Chinese vehicles. I don't know. Made in China, it's got like a bad rep. So there you go. In return, China has agreed to slash their tariffs on the canola oil imports, not canola oil, canola imports from 84% to 15%, and that is taking effect March 1. Why March 1? Why not immediately? Don't know. Crazy. He also posted this on Twitter. Mark Carney says, we are removing trade barriers to unlock billions of dollars in business for Canadian farmers, fish harvesters, and workers across agri-food sectors. By March 1, we expect that China will lower tariffs on Canadian canola from 84 to 15%, and that Canadian canola, meal, peas, lobster, and crab will no longer be subject to anti-discrimination tariffs. Click on the suspicious link to learn more. Okay. Again, the dog thing. All right, speaking of dogs, Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario. It seems like he's finally waking up. I don't know. I don't know. Do we even trust the guy anymore? Strange. He says this, make no mistake, China now has a foothold in the Canadian market, and they will use it to their full advantage at the expense of Canadian workers. True. The federal government is inviting a flood of cheap, made-in-China electric vehicles. True. Without any real guarantee of equal or immediate investments in Canadian economy, auto sector, or supply chain. Also true. Worse, by lowering the tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, this lopsided deal risks closing the door on Canadian automakers to the American market, our largest export destination, which would hurt our economy and lead to job losses. Also true. 100% agree. To fix this mess, what must you do? Mark Carney, please, the federal government, you need to urgently step up and support Ontario's auto sector, because apparently this is where we make the most. That means making the sector more competitive by ending the electric vehicle mandate, harmonizing regulations with key trading partners, and scrapping federal fees that do nothing but add thousands to the cost of making vehicles and chase away investments. Big. Instead of importing made-in-China vehicles, the federal government needs to be focused on working with Ontario to bring investment and jobs to factory floors in Brampton, Oshawa, Ingersoll, and across the province, where assembly lines are at risk or have already left the country. I was literally working at an assembly line for vehicles, not electric vehicles, this were General Motors. So, yeah, I literally got laid off because of that. Crazy. Whether farmers or auto workers, Canadians expect and deserve a federal government that gives them every shot at success. I'm urging Prime Minister Mark Carney to work with Ontario to strengthen Canada's auto industry, not weaken it. Together, let's protect Ontario and protect Canada. You love the guy, so this is what you got. You reap what you sow. Enjoy. All right, pal. 51st state. This will be interesting to see the performance of Chinese electric vehicles in Canadian winters. Absolutely. Dude. We're going to get a lot more accidents and a lot of vehicle fires. I don't know. Did you see? There's this one clip where an electric vehicle made in China shoots out its battery in the risk of a fire, right? Like it shoots it out from the side. I don't know if I could find that. I saw it on Twitter. What do I even type in for this? Chinese EV battery shoot out. Dude, this is gonna give me like a... Okay, that's not it. This is it. I found it. Okay. So there's this electric vehicle that shoots it out of the side, the battery pack, right? In case of like an emergency or a fire, it'll just like shoot it out the side. And then boom, problem solved. It's the vehicle in the next lane's problem now. You know what I'm saying? And then this is like POV stuff that happens with Chinese EVs. This is a video from October 2025. Hundreds of cars are catching fire every day in China, to the point where they had to like design something like this. That's insane. It's due to the countless number of random fires, which have caused numerous fatalities in China. Let's import, how many thousands? 61,000 of those? Awesome. What else do we got? He did announce other stuff, though, apart from this. Mark Carney says that Canada is investing $5 billion over 3 years in new and upgraded hospitals, emergency rooms, and urgent care centers. Good, we do need that. In Alberta, specifically. In Edmonton. We had a lot of stories about, you know, long wait times, lack of medical personnel to help the people. Big issues there. So, that's also happening. I don't know why, but he also posted this thinking he's cool. I think it's cool. Lego. It's time to build this weekend with Lego. Hey, come on, man. Build some homes, you know? Anyways, thanks to the Ambassador Harris for the gift. Solidarity with Denmark. He met with this Denmark guy, Danish guy. He's the Prime Minister of Denmark, President of Denmark. Dude, who is it? Denmark President? I'm sure it's a president. It's Mette Frederiksen. Was this a guy? No, this is the ambassador. It literally says ambassador. Okay, I'm slow, dude. I'm tired. I don't know if you could tell, but like, I've been talking all day, I've been reading all day, and now I'm doing this darn stream, so I'm tired. And Pierre Polyev quote reposts this, which is funny. It's not quite a pipeline or affordable homes that you're building, but congratulations on building something, anything, at this point. Because yeah, that is what we need. Build more homes. We are kind of building homes, but it's not enough, and you're overspending for it, in my opinion. I don't know. Money laundering. Where's that? What is going on there? What was the amount? Like $3 million being spent per home. Does it even cost that much to build a house? How much does it cost to build a home in Canada? $250 to $450 per square foot, averaging around $700,000 to $1 million for a typical house, depending, of course, on the area. And we're spending $3 million per house. I don't know if this is excluding other stuff. I don't know if we got to pay our workers a couple $1 million or what. But yeah. Don't give me I don't understand square feet, okay? I'm only 24. Whatever. The biggest issue that people are noticing with this whole China deal is that we are opening the floodgates to information sharing with China. China is the #1 global security threat to Canada. I wouldn't say to Canada, I would say to the United States. And we are now sharing crucial security information with them, which is insanity. We're about to roll out a social credit score or something over here. This also got announced. Law enforcement of Canadian agencies will increase cooperation with the Chinese Communist Party to better combat narcotics trafficking, transnational crime, cybercrime, and money laundering in Canada. Do we really trust them, though? The RCMP and FinTrack have consistently linked Chinese actors to narcotics trafficking, transnational crime, cybercrime, and money laundering. Or maybe it's going to be easier for them to avoid encounters with our law enforcement. Yeah, quite literally. Alright. Lovely. So, that is one thing that people are noticing, is that Canada cozying up to China to welcome more investment. It just puts all of North America at serious risk. We're supposed to be a team with the United States, and we're just abandoning them and bringing in the biggest adversary, the China. The China. So, what are we going to do about that? What does Trump think? A reporter asked him, hey, what do you think about Mark Carney signing these trade deals with China? Trump is like, it's okay. That's what he should be doing. It's a good thing for him to sign a trade deal with China. I don't know if he understands the significance of this. Or maybe he wants this to happen. He's like, they don't know what they're getting into. China's about to completely screw them over, and Canada will fail economically, and that's when we take over them. We'll be surrounding them completely with Alaska, with Denmark, and us in the south. And then we just annex Canada. No big deal. Speaking of Greenland, though, Mark Carney states that Canada will go to war with the United States to defend Greenland. Why, dude? Stay out of it. Just allow it to happen. Let's get annexed. Canada just sent the clearest warning yet to Trump's Take Greenland fantasy. Mark Carney says that our full partnership and obligations to Article 5 stand. We stand fully behind them. I'm assuming this is NATO's Article 5, right? Brother, what is Article 5? You act like I'm supposed to know this stuff. It's NATO, yes. It's the... If you attack one member of NATO, you're attacking all of us, and everybody is allowed to collectively defend. Yeah. So that's something I did talk about before. I just didn't know it was Article 5. That's what it is. Okay. Translation is that Canada will back Denmark and NATO if the US tries to annex Greenland. I bet we're going to send 16 soldiers instead of the max of 15 that is being sent there. This isn't a policy dispute anymore. It's basically America versus its own allies. I don't like the sound of that, but come on, just let us buy. It's only $700 billion. Just add it to the national debt. No one will care, /no. But anyways, Trump still got other stuff up his sleeve. If he's not going to do it militarily, he'll try to pressure them economically. Trump is also threatening tariffs on all countries that don't agree that the United States should take Greenland. Well, Canada's, we just read, they're included in that list. So let's go. We're going to get a big fat tariff from the United States for defending Greenland. Just allow it to happen. Don't even opine on it. Just let it happen. Who cares? What is the population? Of Greenland. Have you guys even heard their accents? It's like terrible. And they also look like, I don't know, they look Filipino with this like weird accent, this North European accent. I don't know what it is. Very small. It's estimated to be 56 to 57,000 people is the population. They look like the Inuit people. That's what they look like. From Canada, right? The Eskimo people. I don't know what you call them. I don't want to insult the people too much. I'm sure they're nice. But their accent is odd. So that's Greenland for you. I really don't have too much other news else to cover. Still more stuff, don't get me wrong, stream is not over, but there's this. Iran is, well, I don't know. They're only buying time to prepare. The strike is inevitable. Iran won't agree to those conditions. US President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke twice in 2 days about Iran. Trump is weighing a possible US strike versus diplomacy and has delayed military action after Netanyahu asked for more time to prepare. I heard somewhere that it was because, well, Trump was actually trying to pursue diplomacy with Iran until he got a lot of these death threats from Iran themselves, actually from the president, I think, of Iran. Might have been giving death threats to Trump, saying like, oh, this time we will not miss. Talking about what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. So he's like, you know what? Screw that. That's a direct threat on me. And I'm sending in all my ships. I'm sending the USS Abraham Lincoln over there. And, you know, prepare. And also no more discussions. Everybody evacuate. We're going to attack soon, is what seems to be the case right now. US officials say that a strike is still on the table. Israeli officials think it could happen soon. Meanwhile, Putin offered mediation, and US envoy Steve Witkoff said a deal would require limits on Iran's uranium enrichment, missiles, enriched uranium stockpile, and regional proxies. Okay, just don't blow each other up. Trump also posted this on Truth Social, talking about the hangings. I didn't even realize that this was actually a thing, but the hangings are real. But he ended up saying, I greatly respect the fact that all scheduled hangings, which were to take place yesterday, over 800 hangings, have been cancelled by the leadership of Iran. Thank you, says Trump. Here's another post. Iran carried out at least 52 executions during protests. Cancelled or postponed. Okay, I don't want to show that. But yeah, that's Iran for you. Why hang them? Just shoot them. Don't even, just stop killing people. Anyways, moving on from all of that. So, Monero. Why was it rising? Here's a possible explanation from ZachXBT. On January 10, or at around 11 p.m. UTC, so let's go to Monero and look at January 10 at 11 p.m. UTC. If you, I'm already on Monero. Was I already on it? January 10. Yeah, quite literally before we, broke our all-time high and went parabolic all the way to 800. So at that time, a victim lost $282 million worth of Litecoin and Bitcoin due to a hardware wallet social engineering scam. That sucks, brother. $282 million in Bitcoin and Litecoin. So this attacker began converting the stolen Litecoin and Bitcoin into Monero via multiple instant exchanges. Smart, because you can't track Monero. You can track Bitcoin and Litecoin because they have public blockchains. But he converted them into Monero. Multiple exchanges causing the Monero price to sharply increase. You're suddenly adding $282 million into Monero. Is that a big deal? Probably not. I don't know. I'm assuming it's part of these rises over here on January 11. It wouldn't have been later than that. And of course, just general optimism. Nobody knew why the price was rising at that time. Not even I did. So I saw this happening as well. I'm like, okay, well, there you go. We're breaking all-time highs, short squeezes, FOMO, whatever you want to call it. That's what fueled the rest of this rise after January 11th to January 14, where we ultimately hit our peak at $800 on Monero. This Bitcoin was also bridged to Ethereum, Ripple, and Litecoin via Thorchain. The theft address with 2.05 million Litecoins and 1,459 Bitcoins, that's crazy amount. Here's the addresses if you care, /asked. Is this really 282 million? I feel like that's more. 1,000 Bitcoins. Am I crazy? Alright, hold on. Allow me to commit mathematics here. 1,459 Bitcoins. If each one costs 95,326.3, it is 139 million. I was thinking there's maybe an extra zero in here and a billion is what it would be worth. No, it's... Okay, fair enough. Good job, hacker. Help a brother out. Donate. I accept Monero too. Nobody will ever know. Okay, anyways, moving on. So, what else do we have? We had this, I don't think it's a partnership. It's an integration, an addition made by Interactive Brokers. It happened a couple of days ago. I just hadn't had the time to talk about it, so here we are. Interactive Brokers, it's a broker, stockbroker. It surges 5.6% after enabling stablecoin funding for brokerage accounts. Big. Here's the details. Interactive Brokers say that eligible IBKR clients can now fund brokerage accounts with stablecoins 24/7 with near instant deposits that are auto-converted to US dollar and credited to the account. It starts with USDC. You'll be able to do it via Zero Hash wallet. They've been bull posting about this. And they will be adding Ripple USD, RLUSD, and also PayPal USD, so Pi USD, which that should roll out by next week. Cool, great. Better ways to fund your portfolio, your wallet, your stock market wallet. I think they offer Forex as well. They may offer crypto. I don't remember. I've looked into them before when I was looking to open a broker account, but I ended up going with Questrade, and Questrade is garbage. I'm sorry, Questrade. Your platform sucks. It's just so bad. It's so difficult to understand. I hope that doesn't affect any future sponsorships. I still use it, okay? So if that's any coping mechanism. Let's move on to AI. Sam Altman. This was posted by OpenAI, saying that in the upcoming weeks, we plan to start testing ads in ChatGPT free and Go tiers. Let's go, we're getting ads in ChatGPT. It might be for the better though, like you get the more advanced version, and we did talk about this way far back in the past, the proposal of this, so it seems like it's actually about to happen in the coming weeks. We're sharing our principles early on how we'll approach ads guided by putting user trust and transparency first as we work to make AI accessible to everyone. What matters most, responses in ChatGPT will not be influenced by ads. The ads are always separate and clearly labeled. Your conversations are private from advertisers. And if you have the subscription of Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise, those tiers will not have ads. Only one of the paid tiers is what I'm assuming, the Go tier. And then the free tier, the one that we all use because we're broke. Sam Altman quote tweeted this saying, "We are starting to test ads in ChatGPT free and Go, the new $8 a month option tier. So it's a bit cheaper, but you know, you get a little bit less ads, but it's cheaper. Here's our principles. Most importantly, we will not accept money to influence the answer ChatGPT gives you. And we keep your conversations private from advertisers. It's clear to us that a lot of people want to use a lot of AI, but they don't want to pay, so we're hopeful for a business model like this can work. An example of ads I like are on Instagram, where I found stuff I like that I otherwise never would have. We'll try to make ads ever more useful to users." Great, lovely, thank you. Elon Musk, of course, biggest adversary of Sam Altman and ChatGPT. It seems like there's going to be a case going on, which we've discussed before as well. I don't know why this is trending now, but 57% chance that Elon Musk will win his case against OpenAI New court documents reveal OpenAI's president admitted he wanted to turn OpenAI into a for-profit organization from being non-profit. Elon quote tweeted saying, "Can't wait to start the trial. The discovery and testimony will blow your mind." He really wants to take down that competition. It's now at 69%. Lovely. OpenAI. Haha, that's a good one. Hi, Greg Crypto. Welcome. Happy Friday to you too, sir. The AI bubble, you remember that? Here's a Google Trends chart for it. Nobody cares about AI bubble anymore as we once cared later. Okay, late last year. Remember that? Oh, the AI bubble. Oh, Michael Burry is selling. Oh, Warren Buffett is resigning. Nvidia crashes 5%. Everybody's like, there it is. There's the AI bubble. Okay, there's literally nothing. No reason for AI bubble to be a thing. And I called that out, saying that AI is not in a bubble. We will always be using AI. And this is just people fear-mongering. And I was right. I think AI is doing well. And we are no longer in a bubble. And nobody cares about that whole narrative anymore. That's at a local bottom in recent times. So there you go. No worries about AI bubbles. So there we go. That's all the news for today. What else has been going on in the world, man? Literally nothing. So, yeah, anyways, I expect DK over the day tomorrow. That's really it, honestly. That's really it. Seems boring. Why is all this stuff getting delayed? Can I ask, like... Let me pull up our favorite AI, Grok. I don't have it saved. That is crazy. Okay, grok.com. Do I have to sign in? No, I do not. Thank you. Why is it in Spanish, anyway? When will the Supreme Court tariffs ruling now be after the delay? I made it to give me like fast, concise answers. Just get to the point to give me a paragraph of an answer. There we go. They didn't issue a tariffs ruling. The next possible date is January 20th. Expected opinion day. The court does not announce specific cases in advance. I'm noting this in my calendar, January 20. Supreme Court tariffs. And set this to all day news. Save. Okay. When is the crypto market structure bill decision going to be after the delay? That's delayed from January 15 to now late January 2026, possibly the last week or January 27 or later. There's no firm decision date set yet. So that's in 2 weeks from now. Okay. Senate Banking Committee. Is a high spell committee. 2 M's, 1 M. No, 2 M's, 2 T's, 2 E's. What a weird word. Save that. Okay. Was that it? What else was being delayed? The attack on Iran. Right. I should ask Grok, when are we attacking Iran? How smart of me. No, that's all. That's all there is for it. Yeah, so that's going to take a while. I mean, we're also expecting other stuff. Next week, PCE data, sure. And then the week after that, the FOMC interest rate decision, sure. Good as well. That's about a 90% chance that we keep rates where they are for the first time in a while. See me Fed watch. 11 days left. Okay, 95% chance we keep rates where they are. First rate cut we expect in June. We're not expecting a third rate cut anymore. You'll notice how slimmer this chart looks. Like there used to be like tiny odds of a third rate cut happening. Now that it's just completely out of the question. So first rate cut in June, next rate cut in October. 2 rate cuts for this year. Fed projected 1 rate cut Market is being aggressive and hoping for 2. I accept with the 2 rate cut probability. I think we should be fine. Oh my, look at the top assets. Gold and silver. Silver's at $89, gold 4,600. We did it, 4,600. Commodities are still on the rise then? That's crazy. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's holding well, gold. The all-time high was actually 4,643, which happened 2 days ago, which we absolutely covered. RIP Nvidia, 4,500, sorry, 4.5 trillion. No, it's not that great anymore. What happened to Apple? They fell off hard. Wasn't there like that, the Polymarket odds thing where it was saying Apple is about to overtake Nvidia in market cap to be the #1 company again? I don't think that's going to happen. And clearly it isn't happening anymore. What can we bet on Polymarket? Khamenei Supreme Leader out of Iran by January 31st. To do, nothing ever happens. I should have voted no on this and made profit on it by now. After like we did this fake out of, oh, we're about to attack, and then we just did an attack, nobody believes it anymore. Supreme Court rules in favor of Trump tariffs. I want to vote yes, but I genuinely don't want to like put money on it, so I'll stay out of it. ChatGPT ads by March 31st. Yeah, that's a very high chance. I mean, it's even been confirmed by Sam Altman at this point, so I wouldn't say that's the safest bet either way, because he could always just back out, but I'm going to stay out of it for now. Republican presidential nominee of 2028, 52% JD Vance. Okay. Jerome Powell out as Fed chair by. This is an easy answer. It's obviously May 14, right? That's when his term ends. When does Jerome Powell term end? I've looked this up like 20 million times. Oh, okay, no, not that one though. His Fed chair position finishes May 15. Out by May 14? So is he going to end before, or will he wait until after? That's what the poll is talking about. Okay, I understand now. I'm not going to vote on that. I'll stay out of it. Bitcoin above what price on January 17? Okay, what the heck? January 17, that's literally tomorrow. Okay. Give me a bigger time frame and then maybe I'll vote. What price will Bitcoin hit on January 12 to 18? I'm a bit late for that, aren't I? How many rate cuts in 2026? I'm voting 2. 2 rate cuts is a 23% chance. Not only do people are confident on this, but you have to get the exact number though. People actually think we're getting 12 plus rate cuts in 2026. Hey, maybe. If Trump actually gets somebody in there, maybe Kevin Hassett, and says, look man, you're going to cut rates to 1% like I wanted it to. Now that Jerome Powell is gone, would that happen? The answer is no. Like, honestly, it would not happen because all 12 Fed governors would also have to vote in favor of that. It's not just the Fed chair that has all the power. It's a democracy, so the other guys got to vote in favor of it as well. And I'm not sure that a lot of them will. You've got that cranky old lady, you got that Kashkari guy, and I forget who else. But half of them suck. So yeah. Who is going to be the leader of Venezuela by the end of 2026? Nicolas Maduro. Why is that still a thing? I think that's free money at this point. Oh, I thought that said Vladimir Putin. Okay, Vladimir Padrino Lopez. I don't know who that is. Donald Trump. That's funny. Number of tweets by Elon Musk. Why do people even do that? I bet Elon Musk makes alt accounts and it's just betting on himself. How many tweets is he going to put out? Will US acquire a part of Greenland in 2026? I think they will. I'm not going to vote on it though. Big if true, of course. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. Marine Le Pen for next French presidential election. Okay. That's enough. Get out. Alright guys, that'll be the conclusion for the stream for tonight. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow with a lot of big news. Nothing is going to happen. But we'll talk about it anyway, alright? Till then.